House Republicans' President Trump-backed budget bill narrowly passes with a slim 217 to 215 margin, paving the way for sweeping spending cuts and $4.5 trillion in tax cuts. Our very own Rick Newman joins us now on this. Rick, your analysis of this entire bill that made its way through.
It's a first step. So those numbers that you just showed, those are the baselines. It doesn't say what the tax extensions or tax cuts will be, and it doesn't say what the spending cuts will be, and that's going to be the hard part. So just to go back to it, Brad, you said that you just showed $2 trillion in spending cuts that are going to have to be part of this bill. So that is over 10 years, so call it $200 billion per year. That's hard. It's hard to cut that much spending, and there are not a lot of places you can do that. So in order to finance the extension of these tax cuts and some new tax cuts, it's looking like there are almost certainly going to have to be sizable cuts in Medicaid. That's the health program for the poor, and then also in perhaps things like Pell Grants or food benefits also for the poor. That's just where the money is. And that's assuming that there are not going to be any cuts in Medicare or Social Security. So this is the House's version. The Senate has a different version. There's still a long way to go to get actual legislation that President Trump might be able to sign. And it's still not clear whether Republicans in the House and the Senate will agree on what those spending cuts should be. So that's going to be the drama on Capitol Hill for the rest of 2025.
And Rick, on the geopolitical side, we're also getting some news developments here. Most recently, the Ukrainian government confirming a drafted agreement with the U.S. for the country's rare earth minerals, and this would come in exchange for security guarantees. What can you tell us there and the steps forward that this could potentially see here for ending Russia's invasion?
I don't think it's going to end the invasion. I'm not sure anything is going to end Russia's invasion. We should all be very skeptical of talk that Russia somehow will agree to just stop the war they started 3 years ago. This deal on minerals is really interesting. I mean, it looks like Ukraine, led by Vladimir Zelensky, the president, is like learning how to speak Trump's language. Trump wants a deal. They're like, okay, we'll make a deal with you. I think there are major questions about what this deal would actually be, assuming it is going to be a real deal, so that the United States gets access to whatever Ukraine might have, lithium, titanium, that's the kind of stuff we're talking about. What does that mean? Does that mean the U.S. government has those rights? Does that mean the U.S. government secures those rights on behalf of American companies? How does that work exactly? I mean, a lot of unanswered questions. But, Zelensky is pretty crafty. And I think I love the fact that he's just like, okay, Trump is a deal maker. He wants to be able to say he made a deal. I'll give him a deal. Whether there's any substance to this deal remains to be seen. But Ukraine and Zelensky are hanging on for now.
All right, we will see. And he's expected to travel potentially to Washington on Friday, too, right?
Yep.
All right, Rick, great stuff. Thanks so much.